You guys can see me. Can you hear me? If you can, drop a comment, hit the like button. It is going down. You gotta get this thing just right, baby. How we doing out here in these streets, these Cinco de Mayo streets? Yeah, that's right. We made it, y'all. We've made it to May 5th, 2024. You know, I'm gonna be dropping a lot of Black Superman doctrine. Black Superman doctrine right here, especially for the men out there. You got to work on yourself. You know, the message of this video today is you have to work on yourself. The world don't owe you nothing. I'm gonna say that again. The world don't owe you nothing, not a damn thing. But you owe the world everything. And what I mean by that is that a centered and grounded man, young man, or person, adult, individual, you owe the world something. And I put some things together on what that something is, and that's a person that's worked on themselves to the degree to where they understand that they're a student of life, and every wrong turn and blind spot that they overcame was a lesson to get them to the next level. You know, you have to share that message, share that information. What were some of the techniques that you did that got you past that hurt? You owe the world that. Don't keep that to yourself. You can't take that to the grave. It's too many of us out here for that. And I look at the time cycle. The beginning of time is a continuum. It's going. We're in 2024. Before you know it, 100 years from now, it'll be, what, 2124. All of us be long gone. But what will be here is an evolved species of our offsprings through our DNA. And our DNA strands hold the information that's encoded from our forefathers. If you come from an athletic tribe, then you're gonna be born kind of being athletic. Once you get in sports, that stuff will be revealed and the coach can pour it out of you. The same is true with intellect. You know, resilient. A lot of people are not as resilient as some other people, and I think a lot of that has a lot to do with those dormant genetics, especially, you know, people from the tribe of Africa. Our forefathers, they had to be very resilient because they slaved and worked out there in the sun, the men and women, picked cotton, they brought all those children. Those women back in the day was having a lot of kids. There was breeding grounds out there. So Black people had to be very strong and resilient. And a lot of us, we don't even realize how much strength we have within us until you're tested. Everybody has their own individual journey in life, and the world is going to test you differently than your forefathers were tested, or the man to your left and to your right is being tested. Now, if you come across some similarities of those hiccups in your journey, then people could kind of bounce ideas off of each other on what did it take for them to become more resilient, to not throw in the towel, to not give up. You owe the world that. So in the meantime, if you want to expand your genetics and create that legacy, because all of us want a legacy. We want children. If you already have children, you expect them to carry on your last name, your legacy, the DNA. The core values that you instilled into them is going to speak volumes once you're long gone. Your children is a gift to the world. You know, it could be a gift or a curse, because there's a lot of people who had kids that grew up that was unfortunately incarcerated because they probably needed to be there. That was the best place. They committed heinous crimes. So there's place for people like that. You know, in this world we live in right now, in this exact moment, everybody starts out with a clean slate. When you're born, you start out with pure potential, and happiness is your birthright. You know, we're not gonna always be happy. Once you start getting out here in the world, you're gonna see that every day you're not in the mood for it. Some days you are, some days you're not. That is the natural order of the human condition. You know, and that's okay. It's all about how you control it and how you process it. can't be mad at the world just because you're having a bad day, you know. So what some of the things that I do, or what some of the things that I've done to get myself to a place to where I'm a little bit more emotionally evolved, is that I seek knowledge. I seek the instruction manual of how the body and the mind works in tandem. You know, I wanted to know about the central nervous system. I wanted to know about emotions. I wanted to know about personality types. What triggers me? I did an analysis, a self-analysis, and self-reflected. And I read literature to kind of put those two things together. The book that I read that helped me was Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy, because I was going through a dark time, y'all, during that particular time. This was back in 2016. I was going through a dark time. I had a lot of things going on with work. My boss was riding me. I was going through a lot of stuff with this crossroad of spiritual, I'm going to just say a spiritual awakening. And I'm going to tell you guys, God is going to find you however he's going to find you. All of us are being reached out from God. The devil knows the Bible just like he does too. So don't get tricked by a lot of these things in your mind that you think is holier than thou, because a lot of times it could be the devil. And that's what I was consuming. I was consuming a lot of things from the ego and a lot of lower vibrations. And one of the things that I'm gonna keep touching bases on is, like, for me, it's the spirits that's opening up lower vibrations in me from when I was drinking. When I was drinking, I was lowered down into a person who just couldn't control his alcohol. And I was headed to a place to where I could have been locked up, incarcerated for a long time, you know, because of drinking. You know, then I talked to my mom, and she tell me, like, well, you know, alcoholism runs on both sides of your family. So going back to that genetic predisposition, the DNA that's in our genes, you have a prior predisposition of probably having some issues with alcohol, because people in our family from the previous generation was alcoholics. So I had to learn that the hard way. I had to, like, go through the military, casually drinking, because the world says drink, have fun, go to happy hour on Fridays, kick it, take shots, and blase, blase. That's fine, but there's certain people out here that has the genetic predisposition that you can't play like that, because you have a specific path that you're supposed to be doing. And it's not that of partaking in spirits, alcohol. And that's what I had to learn. I had to restructure and reprogram my self-image. I was ashamed of the person that was looking back at me in the mirror. I was ashamed of the legacy that I was leaving for my family, the last name that I wore on my uniform, because I owed better and I knew better. I wasn't raised like that. So all of my chaotic experiences and destruction and despair, going into debt, paying legal fees, drinking and driving, getting into bar fights, getting into arguments and shouting matches because I was drunk. All that stuff was me. That was my choice. You get yourself in those situations, you got to get yourself out of those situations. So Maximum Achievement talked about the self-concept and how you can reprogram your subconscious mind based off of your thoughts and connect it to the superconscious. And superconscious is your higher self, or also known as God, that's trying to speak to you, to give you guidance on why he placed you here and why you're placed in certain scenarios and circumstances. Because you're going through a spiritual boot camp to prepare you to evolve into the person that he needs you to be, to do his work for him. And I think that is where it hit me, and I had to surrender. And it's this thing inside of me, man, that just keeps telling me, like, I need to, like, be a soldier for the Most High, a soldier for God, you know. But, you know, I had a lot of distractions, you know, the ego mind, you know, the 7 deadly sins. You know. We have to keep that. We're human beings. We have to keep that in check. You know, lust, greed, jealousy, and all that stuff. Those are things in this life that tests us. We're tested every day. You know what I'm saying? So when you're tested in that way, you have to realize that you have free will. You have a choice to pass that test, and you have to seek counsel and listen to certain things that people may cross paths with you to try to help you out. Because if you don't hear from him, you're too distracted. So he's going to send for you. He's going to send shepherds. He's going to send people, and the devil is sending people too. For every angel that God sends towards you to try to like waken you spiritually, the devil is sending the shepherd as well to try to keep you in despair, destruction, chaos, get you to work for him. So you have to discern which one is the one you need to listen to, you know. So that's what I had to do. I went through a spiritual awakening in 2016, man, and that's why I've been on this path of becoming self-actualized and elevating my level of consciousness, because I can only control me for right now. Once you start controlling yourself to become a better person, then you can influence other people, and then from that you kind of like, you have a hand in becoming a force multiplier and reshaping another community of people to do better for themselves, because more people are dealing with stuff than you know. Once you say it, then you get people to open up as well, you know. So sometimes and stuff, I have to like share some testimonies. You know, I battled with this. I wasn't always Black Superman. You know, I wasn't always in shape. I wasn't always inspired to just get up and go exercise. I was down in the dump. I picked up weight. I gained weight. I didn't like the reflection in the mirror. And there was something that spoke to me from the inside when I saw that reflection in the mirror that said, you know what, you got to do something. This is it. I'm at my wit's end. I'm about to break. And that's what I had to do, man. I was about to break spiritually, you know. But guess what? I'm built for it tough. I'm built stronger than that too. So God is going to test you and put you at a place to where you'll bend the knee and you surrendering. But he also at the same time got you to lift you back up, man. So the world don't owe you nothing. You owe the world everything. That's the way it works, you know. And that can be extended across the board, whether it's men and women, you know, children, you know, needs us. Because they locked in this world of destruction, social media, all this mental porn that's tearing up our kids' psyche. You know, so if you got something in you that's spiritual, then it's time for you to rise to the occasion and share that with the next generation, because you owe them. They didn't ask to be born in this world, so that's what we need to do, y'all. So hey, I hope you guys found value in this video, and if you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, man. It's your man T-Walt, aka the Black Superman. Till next time, you guys stay focused, stay disciplined. I'll see you guys in a minute. Stay strong.